They say our gut is the control room of our body. What we eat, how we eat, and when we eat can make a great deal of difference. It can tell us whether we are healthy or we are unhealthy. So today's discussion, as we know, the subject line for us today is the gut health time bomb, and how the poor gut health is fueling most of the illnesses in today's time. So this session will be basically a narrative as to what sort of changes we need to make in our food patterns, in our food choices in current times to stay healthy, to live a longer life. So I would I'll just dive into the questions, and my first question is for Kavita. Kavita, why do you think that more and more people today are falling into the trap of having gut health issues? And what I have presumably seen in studies in the news that we have seen, the cases have risen in manifolds. What is the reason? What has changed? And what should we do?
Good evening, everyone. Yes, you're right. It is an epidemic today. I think everyone would agree gut health is the newest epidemic. And sadly, it's not a good news for us. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. It's not just the diet. Of course, I'll come to the other factors, but first let's talk about the diet. The diet, the food that we're eating today, and it has been touched upon in the earlier sessions as well, I heard, has completely changed. The amount of processed food intake has gone up. It has skyrocketed, and that is a huge factor. In fact, which is why I'm mentioning it first, because ma'am also mentioned additives that combined with refined foods, combined with lack of fiber, is, I feel, the number one reason today why the guts are completely malfunctioning. The second factor is, it's not just processed, it's general lack of fiber in our diet. Convenience food has taken over.
Yeah.
And even if we are eating home-cooked food, I feel fiber is really lacking in our run-up for, villainizing carbs and utilizing protein. We are forgetting fiber, and that is affecting our gut extensively.
Yeah.
Then, of course, lack of enough water. I really honestly want to stress that. I still feel people do not have enough water, and that also messes up our gut.
Yeah.
In addition to that, there are multiple other factors, stress being one, which affects our gut directly. There's enough research. Lack of exercise, never connected with poor gut health, but it's a huge, huge factor because it completely messes up with the gut mobility, the circulation of the gut, and the gut bacteria. So all of these together. And, of course, our fondness for fat diets. I would expand on that later, but I feel jumping from one fat diet to the next is what is completely messing up our
Yeah, exactly. So when we talk about gut health, there are various gut health related illnesses that we have heard about: acidity, bloating, fatty liver. Is it true that it has become more and more prominent in India, and now, because the situation is such that the preference of people to go to a doctor for these issues is not that high? So is it the reason that the changing food patterns has led to the rise in such conditions?
I'll answer that. Yeah, definitely the symptoms with which the patients are presenting to us, most of the time they are like subtle.
Yeah.
They say it is only indigestion, some acidity or something. They ignore it. Maybe because of their daily routine, their work-life schedule, they keep on taking some over-the-counter drugs. And this leads to an element of dysbiosis, element of gut dysfunction, and later on they also suffer from chronic illnesses. And one of the illnesses which is very, very prevalent in my practice is IBS.
Yeah.
You will say that IBS is a spectrum of disease. So it is not just a single disease. It is basically the whole spectrum telling you that your gut is not healthy.
Yeah.
It is because of the today's world or today's problems which you have, erratic lifestyle, erratic way of eating, not standardized time, not having adequate sleep, and the eating patterns which ma'am told us, they are taking a toll on your body. And the severity of these diseases is on the rise. You will be surprised to know that out of 4 out of 10 people landing into clinic are having fatty liver.
Yeah.
And the severity is also increased. More and more people are landing into chronic liver diseases.
Yeah.
And fatty liver disease and NASH, which is non-alcoholic steatotic hepatitis, is one of the commonest cause of transplant or liver failure in patients nowadays.
Yeah.
Even more than alcohol,
Yeah.
even more than other things.
Yeah, exactly. So we have touched base on various gut health issues. Let's talk to Dr. Divya about gut microbiome. So what is it exactly? And how can the current generation understand nutrition and disease management better by knowing about it?
Thank you, Vani. I'm glad to be here and to listen to the enriched speaker before us who spoke about the significance of the diet on our health. And now where the science is standing, this is not a discussion anymore, where we have the scientific evidence which talk about how your healthy gut should be looking. So talk about microbiome, why gut is so important. We now have the technology of the genomics where we can identify what kind of diversity of microbiomes are living in our body. Now that microbiome, as we are hearing, is also good microbiome or the bad microbiome. Now, as the world is also going toward the precision medicine, what we are realizing, the difference between the microbiome, the diversity of the bacterial species or the fungi species that are living between a healthy individual in comparison to the different ailments is different. So it is kind of a signature that we are able to see, and these are no more of the discussion. There is a scientific signatory remark that we can see among them. It would be very interesting to see that when I'm sitting and assuming I'm healthy, any guess in how many microbiome, how many different diversity of microbiome I'm posting? It could be more than 1,000. Any signatory difference in the environment, the stress condition, into the change in my diet, my diversity of the microbiome is going to get impacted, which can result in the physiological response, as what Dr. Neeraj was mentioning. You can see these things are triggering because of the stress and such. But now we have the power of technology to understand that. And it's not only related to this. If we look in my former role when I was working in the National Genomics Core, we had a group of doctors who were coming. They were studying the autistic child versus the non-autistic child. And we were finding that there is a difference in the from the fecal matter, we could see there's a difference in the microbial community. And sometimes it is being now even experimented, re-implementing the healthy microbiome. Can it reverse some of the changes?
Yeah.
Pure genetic, definitely, it may not be possible. But when it is a linked phenomena, it could be changed. So going to your second part of the question, how the healthy, what is a message for the young generation? I would say that your microbiome is your personalized microbiome. Speakers before me have stressed enough, it is depending on what you eat, determine how is your gut. I'm here to tell you, science is also telling. Imagine what you are seeing on Instagram. The next reel comes, it tells you what reel you saw before. Yeah. It is coming in your memory. So the food you eat determine what kind of bacterial diversity lives in your body, will determine how healthy you are. Balance it with the right diet based on your body. But there is a baseline which is needed for any mankind, which has to be maintained with respect to protein, carbohydrate, and other content, which has to be managed. The later tweaking of the precision comes from your body type.
Lovely. When we hear it, it sounds so complicated, but when people talk about it, we actually know that it's all about what you eat, how you eat, and what you think about the food that you're eating. So my next question is for Dr. Modi. Dr. Modi, there is a concept which is the gut-heart axis. Can you break down this concept and how the gut microbiome communicates with the cardiovascular system?
Good evening to all the panelists here. And so, Vani, as a cardiologist, I would say not most, but yes, 40% of our practice is dependent on sugars, what we are, so sugars, oils, salt, what to eat, what not to eat, because the first thing which the relatives ask us after a heart attack is what should we eat and what should we not. Now there is, let's just step back a little and let's start thinking of the 10 years back. Why are we dissecting everything so much? I think we are complicating things more. My personal opinion is we complicated it way far more. So I'll tell you in what we questions we get. We have all heard all this while gut is important, all these microbes are important. You need those good bacteria to be there. We all know this. We've had a lot of discussions. There's a lot of science going behind this. Let us make it down very simple. Salt. The biggest myth which nowadays, and I don't know why people are using it in social media, is do not use iodized white salt. Shift over to rock salt and your Himalayan salt, which is the worst thing you can ever do in life. You know the number of people who have come down with low salt content. What does low salt do? Two things important. In elderly, it causes hyponatremia. Patient come with brain swellings and they become a vegetative state.
Yeah.
Sodium is needed for perception, speaking, everything you can think of, even blinking an eye, you need sodium. Second, in children, if you're not giving them iodized white salt, they'll become mentally retarded. So please, I would request, there's so many people here, please do not go down to Himalayan salt rock salt. Second, then they say, sir, but it has been told to us that restrict salt and put it down so low, you will not get blood pressure.
Yeah.
Again, a very, very, very wrong idea. People don't read the entire sentence. You get blood pressure because of extra salt. Now, what is that extra salt? It's the salt which you put over your salad. It's the salt which you put in your plate. The salt which you use in your everyday routine cooking is never extra salt because the body balances. Second is always sugar. We get a lot of questions. I'm a diabetic. What sugar can I have? You can, one, you don't need sugar to be added on top. You have, everything gets broken down to sugar at the end of the day, whatever you eat. So you don't need to add good. So good is better or sugar is better. Nothing is better. You don't need to add anything.
Yeah.
The entire, whatever you digest, everything is provides you sugar. So that's good enough. If you're having good fruits and vegetables, you're getting enough sugar. You will never have hypoglycemia.
Yeah.
Your sugars will never fall down. You'll never get a type 1, you'll fall down. You won't be unconscious. Third, oil. Oil, there was a huge thing going on. You know, people always disregarded ghee and we are Indians. You know, what I'm trying to say is we're complicating things too much. We are Indians, we should have ghee. Ghee made us better. No oil makes a difference. You know, what's the best oil? If you change oil every time. If you're using mustard, go to olive. If you were using olive, keep changing as soon as your container of the oil becomes over. So go to ghee, what difference is the quantity of oil you're using, which is what? 1 teaspoon of oil in a liquefied state for 4 people in 1 meal.
Yeah.
That is good enough. If you're using anything beyond that, be it olive, be it mustard, olive oil is very nice. You know, if you cook in olive oil, you don't get a heart disease. No, that's not true. Oil is bad. It's very good in a limited quantity. You don't get cholesterol because of the oil you eat from outside. No, very wrong concept. You get cholesterol because the body makes 80% of your cholesterol. You need cholesterol to be alive. So, I think we should not make it diet too complicated. Let's go back 100 years back. My grandfather used to have 2 liters of milk and maybe 1 kg of ghee every day. But he used to go to the district's hospital 10 kilometers on a cycle. And that was 40 kilometers up and down in a day. So he's consuming it. Fourth, again, milk. People are talking about vegan and people are talking about vegetarians and non. Humans do not need milk. After 18, you do not need milk. There is no other organism in the world except humans who drinks milk after they become adults. Okay, be it a lion, be it a monkey, be it a cow, be it a buffalo. We do not need milk. There is an enzyme, lactose, which is there when you are born. And by 30 years, the enzyme loses its complete requirement. So all your bloating, everything starts becoming because of this. So why do you need milk? You don't need milk, ever. So these are 3-4 things which are very important. Let's just eat what is provided to you by nature. These much of carbs, this much of proteins. What is made by trees is vegetables and legumes. Eat those. Don't reduce your rotis, reduce your rice, have vegetables, have fruits. If you want to have it raw, have it raw. It doesn't make a difference. Increase your vegetable quantity, decrease your roti quantities. Do not need milk. Do not drink 2 liters of milk because you have to, because it gives you calcium. No, it does not. If you have a good bowl full of vegetables, you get enough calcium, enough proteins, everything. And you can have enough water as well. This concept of 5 liters of water is the worst thing. You don't keep pouring water in a plant, the plant will die. Right? Our system is made like whenever you feel thirsty, have water. It remains simple. So cardiac health, gut health, my personal opinion, we are just making it very complicated for a common person. I'm a Delhiite. If you tell me don't eat chole bhature for the next 40 years, I'll be like, are you mad? I've survived on it for my 18 years. Yes, have it, but have a half a bhatura. That's not going to change. 2 bhaturas are not going to make you stronger. They're just going to add on to the taste. So have half a bhatura and be happy about it.
So Dr. Modi just mentioned bhatura, and in the previous panel also we heard a lot about the foods. So Kavita, we are a nation of snackers, right? From chai biscuits in the morning to Maggie at night, and now matcha, and I don't know, God knows what trends that we see on Instagram. How do you think that we can change this narrative to healthier snacking today?
Yes, so first of all, I 100% agree. I get so enraged when I see anyone saying stop having iodized namak. So that is one big mistake this entire generation is making, and because of that, thyroid is really coming back. So that I am glad you picked up that point, and I'm reaffirming it. Yeah, snacking, first of all, Vani, I want to tell you, again, we have to stop villainizing snacking. Snacking just need to be made smart. You know, you have to pick your snacks carefully. Then it can be your biggest friend. That's the first thing. The second thing, important thing is that snacking needs to be in small portions because it is a snack. Anything bigger would be a meal. So a small portion, which is sub 200 calories, is what a snack should be. So a full dosa is not a snack. But if you're doing a small portion of, say, bhel puri or a few nuts, that is a snack. So first rule is sub 200 calories. That's the most important rule. Second rule is that the snack should fill up a gap in your diet. So it should be a planned snack. It should not be by the way. It should always be a planned part of your diet. So for example, if your diet or if your body requires a little extra calcium, then you ought to be focusing on a snack that could probably give you that. So it should fill your nutritional gap. That is a very, very important thing. If good fats are missing in your diet, then you ought to be including more nuts and seeds in your diet. And again, with nuts and seeds, rotation is a great idea. So just sticking to one kind of nut is again a bad idea. Just rotate them, include the newer nuts also. We have so many new nuts now. We have hazelnut now, which is loaded with monounsaturated fatty acids. So basically, find the gap and include that kind of a snack in your diet. The third rule is that eat a snack that doesn't spike your blood sugar. We've been speaking about, so chola bhatura, sir, is a meal. Just to clarify to everybody, it's not a snack.
It's not a snack, but what I'm trying to say is, so why I'm saying this is because we get a lot of these questions coming in, because most of the patients who come to a cardiologist, they want to know, what do I eat? Okay. So a lot of them come to say like, sir, you've told me not to eat anything fried. Can I never have a samosa again? And I go like, you have a samosa, I don't have a problem. But two things, which is the easiest to do. One, make samosa as a house. Either you're going to make it, which is going to take time, or if you tell your wife to make it every day, she's going to beat the hell out of you.
Exactly.
Okay. The easiest way is to go get a samosa from outside and come. So stop doing that. You want to have a samosa? If you can make it every day, have it every day. Maximum what you're going to do is make it in 15 days as a festival. You know, today we're going to have samosa. So the whole family is going to get together and make samosa. If you're able to have that one, I don't have a problem, 100%. Cardiac-wise. Because that is not going to change anything. One, because what you're eating, the oil, what is getting boiled there, is never coming out. It's becoming bad and bad. And the amount of things you're using is there. I've still not been able to understand why I don't remember my parents thinking of how many calories we had. I don't remember my childhood thinking of this nut is good or bad. Maybe we are too overloaded with information right now. We are trying to find, badam is nice. Okay, two badams and two cashews and that's not how life works.
Yeah. You can't count everything.
So moderate amount. So almonds, 4 almonds are nice for your brain, but that doesn't mean if you eat 1 kg you become an Einstein tomorrow.
Yeah.
So everything in moderate quantity is great. Eat everything. Please eat everything, but in a limited quantity. Yeah. That's the easiest thing to do. Do not count. Do not put on your phone that these calories I had. Now what do I do? Yeah. That's never going to work. Then you're not living a life.
Yeah. So just the last rule I thought I'll mention, the snack should be one that does not lead to a sugar spike, ideally.
Yeah.
So it should be a food that is high in fiber, high in good fats, and should have some protein.
Yeah.
So just doing a high carb snack is the worst thing you can probably do. So which is why I'm possibly a little more biased towards maybe a combination of nuts with some yogurt or a fruit with some nut butter.
Yeah.
Because that snack will make sure, one, keep your metabolism up. Second, keep the satiety high.
Yeah.
So you won't feel, that's the idea of a snack, right? So that you don't feel hungry till the next meal. Not that you start looking for something else again in like half an hour's time. So if you follow these few rules and include all these foods in your diet, I don't think snack will only add to your health.
Yeah, lovely. Dr. Dhamija, please, if you would like to share your opinion on what is that one learning that every Indian household today should have to protect their gut health from these n number of issues like IBS. Like you've said, IBS is it's a growing concern in today's time. So what is that one learning that you would like people to know?
I think I tell this to all of my patients, and it has been summarized by various speakers and various, like right now in this panel also. I follow the rule of 4F. First stands for fiber. Second is fluid. Third is fermented foods like curd, probiotics. And fourth is fitness. So if you incorporate this 4F rule in your diet, you don't have to count your calories.
Lovely.
So I think if you have to take a take-home message regarding what constitutes a good diet and good living is this 4F.
Yeah, lovely. Yes,
One more to this, sir. Maybe every day, 20% of diet can be raw food. That can really help.
More than that.
Because the enzymes are the biggest deficiency in our diets today. Just adding 20% of raw food to your diet every single day, I think can be a game changer for our guts.
I think more than 20%. I think 50%. More than 50% you can have your raw. You don't need to have a chapati with your vegetables and your dal.
Yeah.
So we have this concept, let's have chicken soup, let's have a munch. Dal is nothing but soup.
Yeah.
It's an Indian soup. Why can't we just put it in a big, huge cup and drink it down?
Yeah.
Why can't we just have a whole bowl of vegetables instead of eating rotis and rice in the night? So start with a heavy breakfast. If you have a lot of carbs in the morning, nothing is wrong with you because they're going to help you the whole day.
Yeah.
Very heavy breakfast, a lesser heavy lunch, and by 7:30 finish your dinner. Easiest way to follow it. And dinner should be as light as possible. Maybe no carbs if possible. Proteins and carbs should be restricted to the breakfast. Lunch and dinner, maybe some vegetables, some fruits. And you're going to have an amazing sleep.
Yeah.
Why are we looking off? So again, newest thing is magnesium, I think. I think everybody will agree. The new thing is now, the new fad is magnesium. Now we have to have magnesium for a good sleep. We need to put magnesium on our legs for a beautiful sleep. Where was this magnesium when we were growing up?
Yeah.
Where was this magnesium when our grandparents were growing up? It was not there.
Yeah.
Why have we changed so drastically?
Yeah.
The Indian thali system, I heard someone talking about it. I think ma'am was there 2 sessions back. That was the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Have everything in little quantity. Have paratha, have papad, pickle, curd, everything.
Yeah.
So you're just complicating it.
Yeah. Let's talk, have a question on policies. Dr. Divya, please tell me, from your perspective, are India's current nutrition schemes doing enough to close the gap on deficiencies? Because the scale is just rising, increasing. The numbers are soaring. So do we have that provision that we are working towards solving the problems, or where are we right now?
It's a difficult question to say if we are meeting the nutritional demand of the country, because the stage where we are also working towards meeting the food requirement. And on that, what we can see, the yojanas, just PM Yojana, I think earlier speakers have touched upon that, that has a lot of beneficiaries, that is changing the mindset and the needs of the country. So I will not take away from the objective for which the schemes were initiated, but it does reflect me back to the slide which Madan sir from Niti Aayog, when he was talking about, he mentioned a slide where he spoke about how many of deficiencies we are having. Anemia is there, micronutrient deficiencies are there. And that is the point which we should be addressing. There is a report which speaks about that in a decade from now, India will be providing 25% of the working population. And Madan sir has spoken about that. We have to leverage on the fact that the working population across the globe would be coming from India. So we don't want a working population who is not fit enough to work on that.
Exactly.
Which would mean do not go for the quantity now, understand the quality. When I became a mother, for me, despite the fact I have fair understanding of what I should eat, I was fascinated that the first thought that the doctor told me was, make sure you're eating healthy. You are eating 5 different colors of fruit every day. That will help the child. And that brings me back to the fact why only at the motherhood. It should be our concept even at the current time also, for elderlies also. As the age progresses, our absorption from the cell decreases. That's why we have to find different alternatives. But that doesn't mean we should stop taking the balanced diet. We shouldn't be focusing on the quantity. I love the when she was explaining about the snack, it's not the major meal, it is just a portion. And Dr. Modi has emphasized on that. While we were growing up, we were not talking about कि बनाना खाते हैं मैग्नीशियम होगा तो मेरी मोटर सेंसर ज़्यादा काम करेंगी. ऐसा सोचा नहीं था. But I think our current generation is aware. We can take that leverage. They should be made aware that what are the nutritional requirement of your body, what food you are giving, what are you getting from that. Because on the other hand, the other side of the room is also the marketing, and I'm not offending any corporate over here, but there is a business to leverage on the food industry also. Mexico had taken certain initiative when they realized child obesity and child diabetes was increasing. They started marking their food products so that the young one goes and he sees, it's a red color one, should I be eating? You just try to help them understand what is needed for them. So these are the kind of policies, and India is becoming the diabetic capital. We have to take measures where we can help the younger generation understand what is needed for them. So definitely I do see other schemes coming to meet the nutritional aspect should be needed, especially when the numbers are alarming for anemia, for the obesity, for the diabetes. It has to be integrated.
Lovely. So as we have utilized the time for our panel, I would like to have this one question from...
Can I just add something?
Please, please, sir.
We humans are very selfish. We're looking at magnesium now. Okay, so another thing is NAD. I think everybody knows about this now. This is the new cell regeneration enzyme where everybody's popping in an NAD and get IV lines. We humans are so selfish. We're looking at NADs at our stature of being fairly, being able to afford everything. NADs and magnesium. Why is it the government's responsibility? We have 4 people working under you. When was the last time you approached and asked them that, are you eating enough? Are you getting enough vegetables? If one of them is pregnant, when was the last time we got in and asked that, your hemoglobin seems low, you should do this? No, but we want to eat an NAD and keep ourselves alive, and our cell regeneration and magnesium to be spiking up always. So if we're living in a society, if we're living in this nation, we all carry the same responsibilities. If kids are becoming anemic, it's not just the food industry, it's not the government, it's us as well to blame. So that becomes very important. Okay, one more thing which I just forgot, I'm so sorry I'm taking extra time, is juices. Please, no fresh juices. Juices is the worst thing, even if it's a homemade juice. We've been given a mouth by God, we've been given a mouth to chew. Please bite and eat. Except humans, nobody has juices, no animal in the world. So please use your mouth. Let's bite and eat. No homemade, no outside, nothing juices are good because they all convert to sugars.
So, Kavita, if you could just quickly tell us, what is that one thing that you would like to change in today's mindset of the people when they think or talk about nutrition? That one small thing that you think they should change?
If we can just stop looking at food as calories and start looking at food as nutrition. So when you're looking at the plate, instead of the first thought coming to our mind that how many calories is it giving me, can we please just look at the food and see what good is this food doing for us?
Yeah.
Is it taking care of my bones? Is it taking care of my gut? Is it giving me something good? Or at least is it giving me some pleasure which is not going to harm me? Just this one focus mindset change, I think can change everything. That should be the first
Lovely.
rule.
Yes, exactly. Dr. Dhamija, what is your point of view on this?
My point of view, being a gut specialist, is don't ignore your gut signs. Talk to doctor, talk to an expert, get yourself screened. There are plenty of screening tools which are available. And I think ignoring your gut warning signs is the biggest mistake you can do.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Divya?
I would say something aligned with what Dr. Modi was saying. Let's not try to complicate your gut and your health. They are interconnected. It's your entire body. And the diet that you're eating, it is an input for your genes. It is an input as well as for your microbial community. It is a regulator for your genes as well as for your microbial community. So diet plays an important factor what is going inside our body while you and I are speaking in terms of metabolism. So don't complicate by saying, oh, I have a day achiever goal. It's just natural. That's how we are being made. So a conscious awareness of what we are eating, a conscious lifestyle is what our body needs.
Yes. Dr. Modi, ending this panel with your thoughts?
So I think diet is a very individualized thing. Something works for you, doesn't work for me. So it's not a fixed pattern. Eat what suits you. Make sure that what you eat, it gives you enough calories and supplements. Stop taking oral supplements. Try and take all those supplements back into your food and enjoy your diet. Let it not be a pain in your ass so that, you're forcing it upon yourself. Enjoy your food.
Yeah. Lovely. So this was all today's panel.